It's bad enough that some people have to crowdfund for healthcare. But what's even worse is scamming the public by getting people to feel sorry for you just so you can end up living a luxury lifestyle. Well, that's exactly what the woman in today's video did, and I'm here to tell y'all all about it. Yep, you guessed it. Today we're going to be talking about Debbie Kranken, who has now been given a new nickname by the internet, who is calling her Debbie the Scammer. Before we get into it, here's a little bit of intel on Debbie. The TikToker lives in California and is a transgender woman, which is relevant to the story because she used her trans identity to scam an entire platform on TikTok. See y'all, it's sad but true that all across the world, trans people do not have access to life savings, urgent medical care, and the surgeries that they need to survive or to even live as their true selves. So many trans people either have to be on the waiting list so that they can go on for a decade of these vital procedures, or if they can't afford the private healthcare, they'd be forced to live in a body that causes them crippling stress every day. As a result of this, a lot of trans people turn to websites like GoFundMe. So you can imagine why this is a serious issue. Debbie Kranken was one of those people who went to TikTok to ask people to donate to her GoFundMe page, which had a target set at $275,000.
It's GoFundMe campaign. I have been fundraising for months at this point for life-saving gender-affirming care.
Of course, Debbie made a few videos asking for help, and her hard work paid off as she made her way into the TikTok algorithm, which led millions of people seeing her videos and tons of people helping her raise the money that she needed. Or did she? What many fans may not know about Debbie is that she actually surpassed her target and managed to raise $300,000, considering that Debbie had only created one page. However, just as everything was looking good for Debbie, it all came crashing down as she was then exposed for being a scammer. And how was all of this a scam, you may ask? Well, let me tell you about it. First off, Debbie was called out for setting a target on her GoFundMe page that was way too high. Other trans creators even commented that a woman who is assigned male at birth would only have to pay a third of the amount that Debbie was campaigning for. Here's what the TikToker CC Jacobson, who is also a trans woman, commented. First of all male to female surgeries combined would be less than $100,000, even if you went to upscale surgeons for all of them. So from what CC said, something smelled very fishy. Another transgender creator on TikTok called Quiton called out Debbie for misleading people as she experienced that because Debbie lives in California, she could much more easily have crowdfunded to help get her Medicare health insurance, which meant that she would be able to avert every single surgery that she wanted for free.
In Los Angeles, all your surgeries through Medicare can be done for free, for $0. I literally have a friend who got her orchiectomy, who got her FFS, and is now going to get her bottom surgery for free.
Y'all, this was literally crazy to find out. And for the longest time, Debbie seemed to pay no mind to how everyone was calling her out for misleading everyone by gaining their sympathy. And you guys are gonna be shocked when you find out why. So after Debbie had been called out by multiple creators for all her shenanigans, her winning streak finally ended when another trans woman on TikTok called Zaya Persian decided to come on TikTok to expose all of Debbie's lies with a ton of receipts after Debbie had accused her of spreading false information online about her. You guys, Zaya did not disappoint as she managed to find out that Debbie wasn't trying to fundraise for her surgeries, which we already knew she could have gotten for free. The first thing that Zaya exposed was that Debbie had used the money to buy a brand new car, since Debbie had posted a document that revealed what car she had.
You lied and said I have an Audi A5. I don't have an Audi A5.
Hate to break it to you, babe, but this is a screenshot from your GoFundMe with the bill of your car payment, and it says the color of your car is Mythos Black, which is a custom Audi color.
If you thought that was shocking, the next thing she found out was that Debbie was also using the money to live in an expensive apartment in LA.
I don't live in Beverly Hills. You don't know my address.
You may or may not live in Beverly Hills, but you do live in a luxury apartment somewhere in Los Angeles because your rent is $3,300 a month.
All of this was so crazy to fans, and they really had so much sympathy for Debbie even after she would guilt trip her viewers. But in the midst of all of that, it still didn't make sense to the public as to why she needed to buy a completely new expensive car and live in a luxury apartment if all she was fundraising for was her transition and basic survival. We haven't even reached the shocking part yet. Debbie did all of this fundraising over not one, not two, not 3, but even 9 different accounts to make it look like she wasn't already surpassing her initial overwhelmingly huge target. And you guys, this is only GoFundMe. Another TikToker and RuPaul Drag Race winner, Bob the Drag Queen, managed to find out that Debbie had pages on Indiegogo, which is another crowdfunding website. Not to mention that she also has 2 Indiegogo campaigns for her music alone. 2 are still active. Her goal there is set at $700,000 between the 2. And finally, on top of this, Debbie even has a merchandise website where you can buy her merch that would run up to an insane $200 for literally just a hoodie with her face on it. The weirdest thing about all of this though, you guys, is that even though Zaya and many other creators shed light on all of Debbie's lies and schemes, Debbie still carried on her scam until this very day, posting multiple times a week on TikTok to promote her GoFundMe pages. She even still uses the front that all the money is for her basic survival as a struggling trans woman, even though everyone knows now that she is literally the biggest fraud on TikTok.